Welcome to NDT Demos to Discovery with your host, me, Peter Lancelotti. And today's guest from Portland, Oregon is jazz, blues, and rock star Kathryn Grimm.
So, Catherine, there is something pressing that we need to talk about.
Okay, I'm nervous. What is it?
You've had bands called Hippie Love Slave, the Blues Scribbles, and then you played in a band called the KGB.
Okay, well, I'm not really using that anymore.
Well, I wondered if, when you chose the acronym, if you were just like doing it to give venue owners, heart palpitations, or if it was just, based on your name, Catherine Grimm.
Well, it was based on my name. I did this years ago, and then I kind of dropped it for years, and I picked it up a couple of years ago, and then lately it's not really kosher to use that. So, what's funny is that I went to New York. I have this new people in my family that I met for the first time. I went to New York for the 4th of July. It was so awesome. I went to a club called KGB, right? I told the guy, I showed him a picture of my banner, and he laughed. He thought it was funny.
Well, I mean, when you chose that name, though, did you realize what you were choosing when you did it?
Well, kind of. I had like some connotations, but it's more, it's a little more dramatic now. I don't think it's really a good thing to do. So I'm just calling it the Kathryn Grimm Band at the moment.
The Catherine
I do like making up band names though. But
Well, that's a great acronym. I mean, I liked it. I mean, you know me, I'm like way out there anyway. So,
that's how we get along.
okay, our friendship has spent, I gotta be honest with the audience, Catherine and I have known each other for almost 30 years. Yes. That's longer than even most marriages last.
I know.
So, what made you think I was worth keeping around all this time? Was it my
Okay.
sparkling personality or just needed someone to laugh at your jokes?
Number one, I love your name. I just want to marry you so I can be Kathryn Lancelotti. It just rolls out the tongue so sweetly. But I'll tell you what, you did a review of my album like a million years ago, and it was an album I did for my
Oh,
my
everything but the kitchen sink.
yes, it was for my bachelor's degree project. I threw together this record, it kind of freaked them out, but they liked it. It had well, kitchen sink because it had every style, every style you can imagine. Not really something you can market very well, but
I loved it, especially that song you actually when you played it that
Selve
time.
Amike. I
Oh
know.
my God. She does this classical song called Mike. I mean, it's from like, I don't know, 1500s or something. And if I recall, when you were in school and you were working on a project for that, and you got in trouble because you did harmonies to it, and in that time period, they didn't do that. But
No,
I thought it sounded great.
that's not really traditional. That's not what you do when you're see, I started that school and I was taking opera for a year and I was waiting for the classes. So I kept going to the dean and complaining, like, what happened to the jazz? I just can't tolerate the. It was really, I found a singer that I loved though. So it helped me. It helped me so much. Cecilia Bartoli. They started using her music for the Sopranos episodes.
Really?
So she's
I
like a
remember
freaking
that.
rock star in the classical music world, and she's a little bit, she's outside the box. So she does some things that aren't traditional. I absolutely loved her, and she got me through that first year. But I did complain so much that they finally, look. I looked in the catalog. I came to Cal State LA to do this jazz program because the classical really wasn't working for me. It was a little rigid for my taste.
Well, I know
So,
that. I mean, you got an amazing voice.
oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, I mean, I did this to my last because you're the second woman to be on NDT. I've been seemingly interviewing all guys lately. Well, now
See?
it's the women's turn. Now I know I did this to my last guest because she did tell me that it was okay to say this, and I think you did too. You're 66 and you look absolutely
Well,
fantabulous.
thank you.
And now you're dropping a new album. How many you have now? I've got three of your
Oh, no,
CDs waiting us.
I don't know. I have like 10. I've been doing this for so.
And I missed like, wow, how did I miss seven of them? Okay. So what's the secret to this youthful look of yours? Clean living, vocal exercises, or did you make a deal with the devil? What's the
Well, I didn't party. I partied early in high school. I stopped all that when I was 17. I moved to LA, maybe like the first couple months I partied. And then I just yeah, I just lived a clean life. That's why I can remember most everything that happened. And, I'm not dead, and I'm still going. I just made a decision. I made a deal with myself. I'm not going to kill myself. I want to be a serious musician.
Good. I'm glad you're not going to kill yourself because
Because it does, it ruins your voice eventually. The
well,
sleep.
killing yourself kind of ruins everything. But yeah.
Yeah, that I just mean the partying and the sleep deprivation, and it just, your voice is, it lasts for a while, but there is a point where it just goes away, it vanishes.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute when we talk about something that we did together last year. But first, walk us through how the new album came together. Well, I mean, I say I'm going to make an album, but right now I've got 6 songs out there, so I know,
That's just enough. Just do an EP. Okay, so this album is an EP. This is a prelude to the big one coming in 2026.
Oh,
So this is a blues-ish, is a blues rock. This is so I came to LA, and I record a bunch up here and I record a bunch in LA because I've got friends in my fave towns. And these are the 5 that are the most bluesy. So I put them on one CD, and I sent them to the Grammys, and I sent them to the Blues Foundation. I really wanted to market this as a electric blues. It's more what I guess what you call my style on this is electric blues. Whoops.
Is this the one called No Cash Blues?
No Cash Blues.
Okay. And I think we have a treat later on. I have for everyone the sneak preview of Turn Him Loose. I think I know exactly what that story is about. We talked about it on one night on the phone. But you don't have to go into that here, unless you want to.
So the first song on the album, I was really suffering at the end of 2023. My mom was sick. So I was pretty much living in Seattle, taking care of her with my sisters. And then I had a contractor I hired. He was totally screwing me over. And I just split up with somebody and turned my world upside down.
That was the conversation we had. Yeah. I remember.
So, I mean, I wasn't even writing. I was trying to endure my life. And I came down to my studio, and I sat on the floor. I forced myself to pick up my guitar. It was the last thing I wanted to do was play guitar or sing or write. So
you're so good.
I sat down and I go, bullshit blues. And then I laughed for the first time in months, right?
You sent me that song.
Yeah, it made me giggle. And then that one is a true story. Everything in that is mostly real, maybe a little embellished, but it was a hard time in my life. So that is the first song I wrote for that album. And then over time I recorded the rest and used various people in both towns.
So it was based on a lot of chaotic things going on in your life at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that got me writing again. Writing that song got me enthusiastic about writing again.
Well, that is amazing because I mean, I always loved everything you've done. I think I'm her biggest fan, to tell you the truth, because every time you post on Instagram or Facebook, I'm always like,
I know, you're
a rock star. So you've been playing for quite a few decades. How has your sound evolved from the earlier days?
Oh boy!
Now, are you still like the same musician, or have you?
Oh no! I mean, first I was raised on the most amazing music. You and I are close to the same age, so I had 2 older sisters. So at the age of 8 or 9, I was listening to Joni Mitchell, Rufus, Hendrix, Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, it was the best of the best, R&B, blues, rock, the whole 9 yards. And then around 15, I just started to get into the punk thing. So I had kind of tunnel vision for a few years there. I was really into
like the Ramones
punk. Patti Smith, I guess you'd describe her as punk. And rock.
I talk about the Sex Pistols and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I went to England when I was 19. It was kind of at the beginning. So I saw moshing for the first time when I was 19, and luckily I didn't get killed because they were so aggressive. It was crazy. It was very exciting. So yeah, I was, for many years I was really interested in one vein of music, and eventually I broke out of that just by teaching helped a lot. When you're a teacher, people bring all different styles of music to you. And then I wanted to get a degree in jazz from my mom. My mom was an amazing jazz singer, but I did not like that music. When I was 15, we were kind of like, we had a gap, a generation gap for sure, but the gap got much smaller as I grew older and more mature, and started listening to more than just rock and more than just three chords.
I don't know if I told
So
you this, but I named a character after your mother, Rhoda, in one of my science fiction stories.
that is so sweet. She never liked her name until we went to England and she saw the grave of one of her aunts, and her name was Rhoda. And she goes, "Oh, I like my name." I've always liked your name.
I've always liked
That
that
is
name
sweet of
since
you to
that.
do that.
Oh yeah,
Great name.
I love her name. Actually, in the book, it's Rhoda Kaufman, not Rhoda
Oh.
Grimm. So yeah. But anyway, well, and she plays an alien who looks like when she's on Earth, Eva Green.
Oh.
Yes.
You
So
have quite the imagination there, Peter.
no, you should read it. Well, you've got it.
I have read it.
I sent you a copy. Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Oh yeah. I read it. I really, really enjoy your shows that you've been doing. I'm trying to catch up.
Thank you. So you started in Seattle, spent years in LA, which is where we got to know each other,
Mhm.
getting degrees at Cal State, a BA in jazz studies and a master's in commercial music, then ended up back in the Northwest in Portland. I mean, that's like going from culinary school in Paris to opening a food truck. What brought you back to the rain?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty well established in LA because I was there for 30 years, and my mom was getting older, and I just felt like if I've been dreaming about going back to Seattle for a long time, but I don't know if you went through this with LA, but I gave LA everything I had. So at the end of the year, I go, I'm going to give it one more year. So, I mean, a couple times I almost moved to New York, came very close to moving to New York. I love New York very much. They have great energy there. So my mom was getting older, and I just knew if I just didn't get up and go that I would regret it. I wanted to spend some quality time with her. So that's what got me back up to the Northwest.
And you have experienced with many of us older adults, or well, young. We're the young older, and then there's the older, and then there's the old old. We're the young older. We've all been experiencing, like my mother's 92. She's got dementia. Your,
Aww.
your mother passed away, was it 2 years ago? No, 1 year ago. No.
Yeah, right. 2.5 years. It's going up. It'll be her birthday's on Christmas Day, so it'll be 3 years.
Wow. Because I
Oh
remember
no, it'll be three Christmases. So it'll be two years, 2.5 years. So
like
yeah, it's
Catherine,
hard.
like my mother and myself, Catherine was very close to her mother as well. Your mother's, I wish I would have met her. She sounded
Oh man, she was
so
freaking
cool.
hoot, man.
That's why I said I got to use her name. I think I asked her permission before I did that too. But it was, we're talking 3 years, well, it was right after she died. Yeah, I was writing it right after she died.
That was sweet of you to do that.
So you have dual citizenship in Canada,
I
and
do.
that's convenient, especially if you can escape to Canada when American politics gets too crazy. Oh, did I just say that? And
Yeah.
then
It,
back to the better weather, unless of course you like the rain in Portland. I hear you're heading up there soon again to see some family. Are they prepared for the whirlwind that is Kathryn Grimm?
I did meet them last year, and I did come in like a whirlwind. Can you imagine? I met them through my sister joined 23andMe before they went bankrupt. She donated her DNA, and she found these people that were the offspring of my mother's family. My mother had never met them; she didn't know they existed. So last year, I went to Toronto. They let me stay with them, a complete stranger, and it was a blast. And I love Toronto.
Hey, that's
Toronto's
great.
amazing.
I have relatives. Well, I don't know if I do now, but I know I used to have relatives in Montreal.
Oh, Montreal's so much fun. I love it. And
So
oh, good.
now here's the part that I just love, and the musicians will probably all be jealous. You've been nominated for a Grammy. That must have been surreal.
Well, that was not quite
Did
a nomination. I submitted just like this year. I submitted my music, so I was considered. It's very,
oh,
very, very hard for a.
but you didn't get an actual nomination. Then I must have been.
I mean, that's the whole. I mean, just submitting your stuff is monumental. It's you have to go through the ringer to get it, just to submit
Heart
it.
palpitations going. Is it going to be? They're going to even announce me as in the running. I don't care if I don't win. Just mention me, right?
yeah, I mean, I think it's really a good goal to have. I think I came out with a great CD for that, and it wouldn't happen unless I was forced to meet that goal. I think a lot of my stuff gets done like that. Um, the looming deadline coming up, and I've got some songs I'm going to submit for next year, and well, I want to do song of the year. That's really submitting your music, and you're competing with all the hot shots. they're not indie. They're not indie artists. Song of the year. They're like the Taylor Swifts.
Taylor Swift was an indie artist before she became.
Absolutely.
One of my guests had said to me, his name is John from England. He was saying that the worst time to ever release a song is November and December. My last guest released a song in December because it was very appropriate. I don't know if you saw the episode with Vanessa Tottle. And she just got to number 8 on one of Australia's radio stations.
Wow.
Yeah, she hit number 8. I don't know if the way she wrote it to me in the WhatsApp, I wasn't sure if the podcast was responsible for it. She's a really good marketer. In fact, I think when I take a break myself, I'm going to talk. Well, when I start getting some more music ready to really market, because right now I've only got 6 songs, well, 7 if you want to count my collaboration with Elvira with It's All Made Up. Did you see the video?
Yes. 7 is a lot of songs, Peter. That's definitely enough for an album.
Yeah, but the collaboration is Elvira's song. I don't think I can. I would have to talk with her. She's supposed to be on the show.
Lucky 6.
We'll see. But the thing is, it's sort of like your album, The Kitchen Sink. I'm all over the place. There's like, vocal work, cover music, instrumental music, vocalese. I mean, that Kyrie, oh God, what a mess that I made of mixing that thing. I should have gone to Aaron Lead of the Dashing Skull. He's been my teacher. He's been teaching me all kinds of things.
Oh my gosh, it's not too late. You can remix songs,
I did do a remix of it, and it did sound better, but they said it sounded like I was introducing a completely new song, and they rejected it. So what I would have to do is literally.
How persnickety is that?
I know. Well, you'll learn something every day. I would have to literally pull it down. Maybe, I don't know, call it something else. It's a Kyrie eleison. You can't call it anything else. It's like it's a style of music. There's a bunch of Kyrie eleisons, Anyway, I'm telling the masters in music over here. So, so you have one of those voices that just doesn't quit. I remember. Okay, we're going to get a little self-deprecating here. I remember a picnic that we had at a lake across the street from where I live. And we were singing together. You just sounded amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You love it.
I think we were doing like a Taylor Swift song that you didn't even know. And you were doing like some great harmonies to it. It was just like, all you have to do is hear it once. And it's like, oh yeah, I know that verse. Okay. Yeah. So in addition to that, since we've known one another so long, I might as well let the audience know us both a little better. Do you remember a particular embarrassing thing that happened to you that day?
Well, I remember we were having fun. We were getting silly, and we started frolicking around in the grass. And then something happened with your pants, and they ended up like halfway down your legs.
On video! I put that on Facebook, and they told me to take it down, or they were going to ban me.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
I had underclothes on. My God. Persnickety can they get? So you have worked with some legends. You've played with Jeff Buckley, Bo Diddley, Michael Bolton. That's quite a range. Any stories that you could actually share with us on the podcast? And of course, they can be scandalous or,
Okay, there's some things I've been thinking of about that. I have a memory of Jeff when he was living with me and my partner at the time, Mark, and he was in town. He was living in New York, and he came to town to record a demo for his dad's manager. His dad had passed away years ago, but his dad was kind of he was a rising star, or he was absolutely a star actually. And So he was in town trying to write some songs, and I had a gig. So it was a gig. We did a bunch of cover songs. We did some Zeppelin songs. Okay, like there is no bigger Zeppelin fan than Jeff. So I learned.
I don't know. I could probably rival that.
I cannot remember what the song is. I'm gonna have to go through their songs and remember. So we did this song, and this thing happened 7 times, right? So him and I were rehearsing it together. And he goes, "No, that's wrong." I go, "Dude, it happened 7 times, absolutely, positively." So we listened to it together, and the look on his face, it was like he felt guilty, like he had let Jimmy Page down because he
Oh,
forgot this pass was 7 times.
you mean
So
like a
I just
particular,
thought that was so sweet and funny.
like a particular riff or something?
Yeah, but I just thought it was so cute that he just felt guilty and like he had let the band down by getting the song wrong, which he rarely did. He just had such a great memory for anything music.
So that was Jeff.
Uh, then Bo, I got something funny about Bo Diddley, and he's not around anymore, so I can tell you this. Okay, so I was in a movie with him with the Screaming Sirens, the band from years ago, and we became fast friends. And he let me play his guitar. It was freaking awesome. It was so much fun filming that. And then he invited me to a studio where he was recording. He was in town recording some stuff in LA. I said, "Yeah, it'd be fun. That'd be cool." So the next day, I met him at the studio, and I brought my boyfriend with me, Mark. And he was really disappointed. I think he thought that that we're going to have a date or something. So
Oh,
that
Diddley. What is
yeah.
couldn't you say to your boyfriend that's like one of the things like, if we could pick one person and no.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted him to meet him because we had hit it off. I didn't really get that vibe that he was picking up on me, or maybe I just was too naive to notice.
I think sometimes you do come across as a little naive. In fact, I said to you, I know off camera, folks, I do have a bit of a potty mouth, and I try to tone it down when Kathryn's around. And I don't know why you do that. She says, I swear to. I mean, when you think about it, you just named a song Bullshit Blues. So,
Oh boy, I got a lot of slack for that from somebody. Uh,
from a music from a like a
PR person,
what did they say?
a lot of slack. They were offended, and I don't blame him because uh, he works in radio, and when you have curse words, that does not work with radio. It's hard to get it.
I thought the same thing when I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I mean, I like the song, but I can see that obviously the family-oriented consumer these days, everything seems to be politically incorrect. What can we say these days? It's like so hard.
I know. I was listening to rap for like 2 weeks straight in my car, and some songs. I mean, you really could only hear like half the song because they kept bleeping, 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 bleeping.
Because well, I got to admit that even some of that stuff, mofo, 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 mofo. I mean, how many times can we say mofo in regard? It's metaphoric, it's literal. Oh, don't get me started on mofo.
So yeah, I mean that bullshit blues was really that song got me writing again. It's an important song to me. It has a lot of meaning. So I was kind of upset when he dissed that song. But then I got some props from the Blues Foundation.
I wish I still wrote for it. Well, we're talking about it now. I think it's great. I used to do reviews many years ago. I think that's how we met, actually. I was going to a club and I was with Sheena Metal.
I remember Sheena, yeah.
Yeah. And I think she was the MC over at the Laugh Factory on Sunset on the Strip.
That's right.
And that's where I think I met you. And then we went to the Cat Club later, and Slash
Oh my
showed up.
gosh.
Do you remember that? Slash showed up. The music started
Yes.
playing, and I'm like, I was looking, I'm going, he looks so familiar. And I think you nudged me like, Peter, that's Slash. Oh, who knew? Um, okay. Well, you ran one of the longest pro jams in Los Angeles for 10 years, and you taught countless musicians. Was that your way of giving back, or were you just looking for a new
Well, I
band who could
I
keep
was looking for a way to make a living. So here's what happened. I came to LA, and I had the same problem that many musicians do. I wanted to be a musician, but I had to make a living and pay the bills. So I did every job imaginable. And, after a long time of doing that, I thought, I think I'm going to go back to school and finish my bachelor's degree that I started when I was like 20 at the University of Washington.
Mm.
And I did do that. I got 2 degrees back to back. And then I couldn't find a job to save my life. So I started teaching privately. And I forgot what you asked me because I was off on a tangent.
I said, were you trying to look for new bandmates to keep up with you, or was that just
Okay,
your
so
way of
then,
giving back to the
then, then I started teaching
yeah.
privately. So my plan was to go to college, get the degrees, and then work in a community college. And so I did get that job, but I had to wait 5 years because
I mean,
no,
I think it's admirable. I only have people on the show who are into community building because that's what this whole
yeah.
thing is about, is making indie artists
So
strong.
I couldn't get a job. So while I did finally get a job after 5 years. Somebody called me from a community college, and that's a whole other story. But I started teaching on my own. So I was teaching out of
Oh,
my apartment in the ghetto in Hollywood, and I ended up moving to Laurel Canyon. So I had a studio in Laurel Canyon. And well, one thing I discovered was that I was really born to be a teacher, and I didn't really know. I just felt like I could be a good mentor because I really didn't have any great. I had maybe 3 good teachers. I had lots of private teachers. Just because you can play great does not mean you're a great teacher. So I
those
used
who
my
do, those who do it or something like that, and those who can't teach. No, but you do both. That's
uh,
the beauty of
yeah.
it.
I think teaching is really a great way to learn. You just really learn your instrument. So
They should get paid as much as doctors do. I swear to God, teachers
I wish we would.
really hard.
So I started using that. I was already doing the jam, so I started using that as a way for my students to prep and get ready and excited about playing with a band because I had my jam once a month. So they had a whole month to work on material and they'd come play with a professional band. And it was just amazing. It was really rewarding. I really enjoyed doing that.
Well, I'm sure you were an amazing teacher.
Aw. Yeah, I haven't been teaching since I've been up in Portland, not very much. I moved to Seattle. I got a teaching job immediately there. I have a friend that runs the Seattle Drum School. So I taught there for about 2.5 years.
Forgive me if I gush over her, for those of you out in the audience. I've known her for so long, and she's just so accomplished and
Oh,
inspiring. You and a few other
sweet.
people inspired me to get back into, professionally recording this year.
I know, and you're killing it, man.
Thank you. Oh my God, that is so sweet of you.
I'm serious.
All right, so now you've got this fantastic new album out. What is next for Kathryn Grimm? More albums, more
I do. Yes, I have a plan. So,
world
I
domination? World domination? No.
I had 12 songs from that recording back and forth, and I had a great producer that mixed and mastered. So I have 7 extra songs. So I'm going to take those 7 songs, and I've got maybe a couple more. I'm gonna have a Lucky 13 album, and it's a very similar album to Kitchen Sink. So it's
Oh,
more of like all over the map. I think it's really hard for me to stick with one style. It's just like I really love all music. So I figured out a title that kind of explains why it's all over the map, and the title is going to be, and I'm trademarking it right now, um, "Songs in the Key of PTSD."
oh my God.
So that's something I think probably most of the nation can relate to at this point. So that's going to come out in March. That's my goal.
And it's called No Cash Blues.
Well, No Cash Blues is my EP. Here's my No Cash Blues. There's my No Cash Blues.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so this has 5 songs, and then one coming out in 20. That's a prelude to the next one, and that's going to be a full length CD. And
Now,
that's,
how many songs do I need to get on an album? It's like 12?
well, I guess if it's probably like 40 minutes
Okay, I don't have
or
40.
more time than tracks,
I don't have 40
or as
minutes.
many as you want.
Okay.
And you don't have
Well,
to wait till you have a whole album. You can do an EP like I did.
I might just do that because I've actually got 5 more songs that I'm going to have out by March. I mean,
Awesome.
I'm going to roll them out. All right. So
And
my last,
you can
huh?
release singles.
Yeah, that's
Release
what I'm doing
singles.
right now is releasing singles, but by March I'll have enough to put out.
All right.
So, all right. So my last question is, if someone never heard Kathryn Grimm's music before and they were listening to this podcast, which song from the new album should they start with? and why? Now, I do have the song that you gave me, and I am going to play it when you answer this question.
That, I gave you that song. There's something about each one that I really like, and I'm so happy about that. To me, there aren't any duds in my mind because I'm pretty self-critical. But I think you're going to play "Turn 'Em Loose." I like that because I played slide guitar. I'm not like a fabulous slide guitar
It's
player.
starting right now. Can you hear it? That is Kathryn Grimm, "Turn Him Loose." Kathryn, thank you so much for taking the time from all the way up in Portland in the rain. Is it raining? I don't know.
It is raining.
Of course it's raining. It's always raining in Portland. I want to thank you so much, everyone. Kathryn Grimm. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
Fabulous.
Thanks a lot.
It hurts to know
All on the next
I'm not
episode
even your friend. Well, we've heard it all before. This sad story is such a bore. What am I gonna do? Turning loose. Turning loose. Somehow you've ensnared my very soul. I know better, but I keep giving you more. And it don't take a scholar to understand just what you are, a determined man. You've heard it all before. You're bad news galore. What am I gonna do? Turning loose. Turning loose. Turning loose. And play a lot of guitar. Everybody tells me make him go away. It defies all logic that I let you stay. But the good is exactly equal to the bad. You do not deserve me, you irresistible cad. Well, you've heard it all before. You don't care, that's for sure. What am I gonna do? Turning loose. Turning loose. Turning loose. What you gonna do when he's treating you bad? Turn him loose. That's right. Turn him loose. Don't you put up with nothing less but the best. Turn him loose. You need some good loving. Turn him loose. Someone kind. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Turn him loose. That's right.